The time is 12 o'clock, and here's the media news. First, the top stories. Farmers to get 500 million naira compensation for land acquired for Wasimi Airport project. Presidency says new national minimum wage will be ready latest September. Lassa fever killed 73 people in 17 states. Security forces moved into Kaduna community to contain religious riots. Iraq sentences 15 Turkish women to death for marrying jihadists. Saudi king sacks military chiefs. I am Tobi Johnson, bringing the news in details shortly. Compensation totaling 500 million naira is to be paid to farmers whose farmland were acquired by the federal government for the airport project at Wasimi near Abeokuta, the state capital. 20 villages are to be cleared in the area for the federal airport project, whose construction is to begin immediately. Also, the affected farmers will also be relocated to the appropriate farmlands in the state. Governor Bikola Muson made this known while leading an agricultural team from the state to the site of the airport, which is being constructed by the PW Construction Company. The contractor had promised to deliver the airport project within 18 months. Amoson says the satellite imagery of the structures and probe enumeration to be affected have been captured to ease the payment of the compensation to the farmers. The Valley of Timuland in Wasimi, Chief Abati Noah, appeals to the federal government to ensure quick and appropriate compensation to those to be displaced for the project. A customs patrol has intercepted 88 bags of India hemp weighing 77 kilograms from smugglers along the Humbe-Idiroku road in the Yewa axis of Ogun State. Also intercepted are 42 compressed pack of books. Spokesman of the state command of the agency, Abdullahi Mewada, who made this known in the statements, also says that 4 bales of used clothes and shoes were intercepted along the axis. The seized bales of clothes and shoes, according to him, were used by smugglers to conceal the compressed tobacco books. The customs controller, Sani Madugo, according to him, had sent the seized India hemp to the Diloko Border Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency for a field test. According to the controller, the field test conducted by the NDLEA on the seized India hemp proved positive for the drug. The National Executive Council of the APC will meet today in Abuja to begin the repositioning of the party ahead of the 2019 polls. The meeting, to be presided over by President Muhammad Buhari, is expected to be attended by the Vice President, the state governors, and members of the party's National Working Committee and other party leaders. The meeting is a follow-up to that of the party's National Caucus, which was presided over by Buhari on Monday night at the presidential villa. At the Monday night National Caucus meeting, where the Vice President, APC National Chairman Chief Oyegun, the APC National Leader Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, APC members of the National Assembly. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, was also at the meeting, while the Senate President, Bukola Saraki, attending a conference in Benin City, was absent. The presidency has assured that a new national minimum wage will come into effect latest by September this year. Labour and Employment Minister Senator Chris Ngige made this known in Abuja at the 40th anniversary of the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC). Ngige says that memoranda are still being received from relevant bodies by the tripartite committee set up by the presidency to negotiate the new wage. The tripartite committee include the representatives of the federal and state governments, the organized private sector, and the labor unions. The minister appealed to workers to give the presidency more time and understanding to ensure that the state governments comply with the proposed new national minimum wage. For instance, Ngige explained that some state governments are still owing civil servants and unable to pay the existing national minimum wage of 18,000 naira. Governor Samuel Ortom has cried out about a fresh influx of herders and their cattle into Benue State in defiance of the state anti-open grazing law. Over 1 million cattle and their herders moved into the state since last week, despite the ongoing joint military operation in the state. The governor who spoke again on the issue at the Macaulay funeral site of 73 people killed by herdsmen on the New Year Day in the Guma local government area of the state. He asked the security forces undertaking a special operation in the state to evict the invading cattle and the herders from the state. 73 persons have been killed in 17 states so far in the outbreak of Lassa fever nationwide. Most of the deaths and cases recorded, according to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, were from Edo and Ondo State. Statistics from the center shows that the reported cases increased by about 50% from 615 last February 13 to 913 last February 23. The center's manager of Lassa fever emergency operation, Elsie Lushola, says the situation is becoming overwhelming. The facilities are the disease treatment facilities at the Rua Specialist Hospital in Edo State and Federal Medical Center are already overstretched. Security forces have been deployed to Kaduna State to contain the religious violence in Kasua and Magani villages in Kajuru local government area. Several people were dead and injured, while houses were set on fire. Governor Nasser El-Rufai ordered the security forces to move into the area and arrest those involved and protect further losses of lives and property. The fighting between the Bagi and Fulani communities is said to be over the alleged forceful conversion of a girl by a religious group in the area. Police on Monday night could not confirm the number of people already killed or injured and houses burned in the violent attack. You're still listening to the Midday News of Rock City 11.9 FM. Up next will be your foreign, business and sport news. Mr. Stevens. A court in Iraq sentenced 15 Turkish women to death by hanging after they were found guilty of joining the Islamic State terrorist group as brides. The women confessed to marrying ISIS fighters and provided the group with aid, including logistical support and help carrying out terrorist attacks, according to the judge. At least 500 women have been detained in Iraq on suspicion of being affiliated with Islamic State, which Iraqi security forces defeated in December. ISIS began recruiting women to join its ranks as wives ever since its establishment in Iraq in 2016. Hundreds of Western women are believed to have joined the group in recent years, including young girls and women from the United Kingdom, France, and Belgium. Many of these women meet their future husbands online in pro-ISIS chat groups. New South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has announced his cabinet making substantial changes to ministerial positions. He reappointed Nlala Nene as finance minister, replacing his sack by the former president Jacob Zuma. In making these changes, Ramaphosa said he was conscious of the need to balance continuity and stability with the need for renewal, economic recovery, and accelerated transformation. He kept several ministers appointed by his predecessor, but other former allies of the former president were demoted or lost their jobs. Mr. Zuma's ex-wife, Nkosazana Lamini Zuma, who Mr. Ramaphosa beat in December's ANC leadership election, was appointed minister to the presidency. Saudi Arabia has sacked its top military commanders, including the chief of staff, in a series of late-night royal decrees. Saudi King Salman also replaced the heads of the ground forces and air defenses. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who is also the defense minister, is believed to be behind various recent shakeups in the country. Last year, dozens of prominent Saudi figures, including princes, ministers, and billionaires, were locked up in Riyadh's five-star Ritz-Carlton Hotel as the prince led a drive against corruption and abuse of power. This is another sweeping overhaul of Saudi institutions that has become the hallmark of the reign of King Salman, although the driving force is one again his son and heir, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. In business, the Dangote Group says it has signed a deal to begin the construction of integrated sugar plants in 6 states in the country as part of moves to extend its brand in the food sector. The plants, expected to create 100,000 new jobs, are to be built in Adamawa, Taraba, Nasarawa, Kwara, Kogi, and Niger State. The group chairman, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, announced the project at a forum in Lagos to honor major distributors of Dangote Foods in Lagos on Thursday. Dangote says the group is acquiring about 150,000 hectares for sugar plantations in the six states and has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Nasarawa state government for the construction of the sugar complex at Tunga. Finally, in the Midday news, sport news. Flying Eagles will face the winners of the first round of the tie between Sierra Leone and Guinea-Bissau after being drawn in the Niger 2019 Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Sudan, Zambia, Congo, South Africa, Mali, Angola, Egypt, Gambia, and Cameroon are some of the other countries drawn by in the first round. The Flying Eagles will play away to the overall winners of this first round tie on May 11, 12, or 13, and the return leg fixture will be played in Nigeria between 18, 19, and the 20th of May. The final tournament will be hosted by Niger in 2019, with the four semi-finalists qualifying for the 2019 FIFA Under-20 World Cup, whose hosts will be announced next month. The Flying Eagles failed to qualify for the last AFCON and World Cup after losing to Sudan in the qualifiers. The Super Falcons have pulled out of an invitational women's tournament in Turkey due to logistics. They were due to travel on Monday ahead of their opening match against Kazakhstan on Wednesday, but did not have enough time to secure visas due to their participation in the WAFU Women's Cup in Cote d'Ivoire. The Falcons were in action in Abidjan only on Saturday, where they defeated Mali 2-1 to win the bronze medal at the inaugural WAFU Women's Cup. The Super Falcons had not been involved in any sort of action since winning the Women's African Cup of Nations in December 2016 until the WAFU Women's Cup this February. That was the media news, and just before we go, the major stories once again. Farmers to get 500 million naira compensation for land acquired for Wasimi Airport project. Presidency says a new national minimum wage will be ready by December. Lassa fever killed 73 people in 17 states. Security forces moved into Kaduna community to contain religious riots. Iraq has sentenced 15 Turkish women to death by hanging for marrying jihadists. Saudi king sacked military chiefs. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log on to our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. Thank you so much for listening. I am Tobi Joseph. Good afternoon.